Hello friends, welcome to Acquire IAS. So today we are going to discuss about the questions on aquatic ecosystem. Okay, so you can download the Hindu short notes PDF from the given below links, right? Next, it is about me. You can follow me at my Facebook page, and you can follow the subscribe blogs for interesting articles. Okay, and you can text to this number 9640123412 to join WhatsApp group for especially for mains answer writing practices, right? So from now we will get started into the discussion. So this is our discussion, that is aquatic ecosystem. The questions on the aquatic ecosystem, it is a chapter number 4 of the Shankar IAS, right? So we'll get started. The question number 1 is, which of the following is said to become under freshwater ecosystem? So here the question is asking which of the following is said to become under the freshwater ecosystem. So option number A, lakes, ponds, pools, springs, streams, rivers. So what are those? So here it is given, choose the correct answer. 1 ABC, 2 DEA, 3 A, B, C, D and F, and fourth one is all of the above. So here our option will be A, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry. So here what you have to do, the self work, I will give you self work from now also. Okay, because you are just simply ignoring the questions, so it should be little bit work for you. So today you have to read about what is the definition of the lakes and each of the following options, that is lakes, ponds, pools, springs, streams and rivers, and how it is formed. Okay, how it is formed. Okay, next, types of lakes, which is most important in your geography as well as environment. Okay, so types of lakes is very much important, and just like Chilika Lake, Wooler Lake, so such kind of important lakes you have to note down in your books. Okay, and I'll come with fresh video with based upon the lakes particularly. Okay friends, so here our option will be our answer will be the A, that is only A, B, C, that is lakes, ponds and pools. So it is asking about the freshwater ecosystem, that is freshwater ponds, freshwater water bodies. Okay, so actually what the freshwater mean? Freshwater means the ppt it contains. Okay, the parts per thousand it contains below the 5 ppt. Okay, here there are 3 water bodies, that is freshwater, second is marine, third one is brackish. Okay, so for freshwater it will come below the 5 ppt. Okay, for marine it will come between 5 to, just a second, let me clean the screen here. I hope it is good now. So for fresh, next is marine, then comes our brackish. Okay, so fresh water it will come below the 5 ppt, parts per thousand ppt. What does this parts per thousand indicates? That is, there is a 5 grams of salt in 1000 grams of water. Okay, so in this way you have to calculate this. Okay friends, next we move further, that is marine and brackish. For marine it is ppt above 35. Okay, and for brackish it is between 5 and 35. So this is how the classification was done on the basis of the ppts. Okay, that is parts per thousand. So next we see further questions. The second question is, these are unattached organisms which live at the air water interface, such as floating plants, etc. Okay, this is first statement. And the second statement is, some organisms spend most of their lives on top of the air water interface, such as water strides. Okay, this is our statement 2. So the above statement refers to which of the following: newtons, periphytons, nectons and benthos. Okay friends, so what is this? So our option is newtons. Option number A will be the our answer. Okay, because let me tell you one thing here. What is meant by benthos here? Benthos. So benthos means the flora and fauna which is very much beneath the ocean floor. Okay, so it is called as benthos. Okay, necton is little bit upper beyond the benthos, and periphytons is also similarly, and newtons is just below the water surface. Okay, so here it can be said that the newtons, okay, they are unattached organisms which live at the air water interface, such as floating plants, etc. Okay, that is these roots are not into the ground. Okay, they'll just float like on water. Okay, they'll float on the water. Second, some organisms spends most of their lives on top of the air water interface, such as stride. Stride is an example. Stride is a small insects, and these are the example of this air water interface. Okay friends, so next we move further. So here our answer will be the A. Okay, so next we move for the third question, that is, what do you understand by the term planktons here? Okay, here you have to do one work, that is, you have to go for self definitions of each and every term here. Okay, then only your preparation will be on the line, I mean in the proper directions, right? So next we move further. Third question, what do you understand by the term plankton? So this group, here they given the two statements, 1 and 2. Okay, so statement number 1 is, this group includes both microscopic plants like algae and animals like crustaceans. Okay, this is the first statement. And the second statement is, protozoans found in all aquatic ecosystems. So which of the following is the correct statement from the above given? So you have to choose the correct answer here. So protozoans found in all aquatic ecosystems, is it right or wrong? Okay friends, so they are given two statements here, so we have to choose the correct statement below this. Okay, that is option number A, only A, B, only B, and C. So third one is both A and B, and D, neither A nor B. Okay, so here our option is C, sorry, A will be our option. Okay, just a second, let me clear this. Okay, so A will be our answer. Why the second option is wrong? That is protozoans. Here first of all let us see about the option number A, that is, this group includes the both microscopic plants like algae and animals like crustaceans. Microscopic plants, which is nothing but the phytoplanktons. Okay, and animals like crustaceans means is nothing but the zooplanktons. Okay, zooplanktons, right? So next, planktons found, second statement here is, second statement here, protozoans found in all aquatic ecosystem. Okay, but it does not find in some of the swiftly water bodies, that is moving water bodies like ocean currents. Okay friends, so for this reason our B statement will be wrong and our answer will be the only A. Okay, so now let us move for the fourth question, that is, which of the following are the factors limiting the productivity of the aquatic habitats? So what are the factors limiting the productivity of the aquatic habitats? That is, here they gave 4 options. Option number A is sunlight, B oxygen, C moisture, 4 temperature. Now here we have options as well. Choose the correct code from the given below. Option A, option 1, that is A and B. Option 2, B, C. Option 3, A, B, C and D, all of the above. So which of the following is the given correct answer? So you have to find the correct answer. The correct answer here is A and B. Okay, why not the C and D, and how only the A and B? That is sunlight and oxygen, they are most probably cannot enter in the water as much as required, as much as the marine animals required. Why? What are the factors here? That is, beyond, if the, suppose this is a water body, okay, suppose this is a water body, the insulation is getting on the water body, okay, but here there is a algal bloom which is grown, okay, this is a algal bloom which is grown, and it won't allow the sunlight to enter into the water bodies, okay, to enter into the water bodies, right? So for this reason, so sunlight will not get into the depth of the water bodies. This is the one reason. Now the second reason is, when these sunlight is not getting in, then the oxygen will also not get in, okay, oxygen will not get in, and by this reason the marine animals will die. Like example, fish, okay, the fishes will get into the threat by this reason. So algal bloom is very much threat to the water bodies, okay friends. So here our answer will be the A and B, and moisture and temperature are the terrestrial limitations, that is land limitations. These both are, sun and oxygen, are for the water limitations, which can't enter the water as much as the marine animals required, okay. Now we see next question, that is fifth. Based on light penetration and plant distribution, they are classified as photic and aphotic zones. Second option is based on oxygen presence and plant distribution, they are classified as photic and aphotic zones. Here it is saying about the light penetration, okay, light penetration. Here it is saying that on the basis of the oxygen presence, and third one is saying that based on the CO2 and plant distribution, CO2, the plants distribution, they are classified as photic and aphotic zones, okay, and fourth one is presence of the nitrogen presence and the plant distributions, they are classified as a photic and aphotic zones. So which of the following is the correct answer? You have to choose the correct code, right? So here options given are only A and B, only D and only C. So you have to choose the right one. So here our option right, and the right option will be the based on the light penetration, the plant distribution, they are classified as a photic and aphotic zone, okay, they are classified as a photic and aphotic zone. So why only the light, okay, why not the other zones, and what is the meaning of the photic zones and aphotic zones, okay. Here our option will be the A is the right answer. Now let me tell you one thing, what is the difference between the photic and aphotic zones here, okay. That is, photic means it is the upper layer of the water, and aphotic means which is the lower layer of the water, okay, which is the under surface of the water. So light will penetrate more on the upper body, not on the deeper of the water bodies, right? So for this reason the plant distribution is very much classified as the photic and aphotic zones, and in photic zones the oxygen will be greater as compared to the aphotic zones, and similarly the plant flora and fauna distribution is much more in photic zone as compared to the aphotic zone, okay friends. This is the distribution between the photic zone and the aphotic zone. I hope you understood, and let us move for the next question now. Now our sixth question is, what does the term winter kills describes? So what does the term winter kills describe here? So option number A is fish dies, but we won't know it until the ice melts. This is the option number A. Second option is fish dies, fish does not dies, we know it when the ice melts. Okay. Third option is fish never dies, we know it when the ice do not melt. And fourth one is none of the above. So which one of the following is the correct answer? Choose the correct one. Okay, pause the video and please try to attempt the question. Okay, so now let me tell you the answer. That is, the option number A is the right answer. That is, winter kills is fish dies, but we won't know it until the ice melts. Why? How it is? That is, what does the term winter kills describes here? That is, for example, this is a water body. Okay friends, this is the water body, and here is a fish. Just treat it as a fish. Okay. Here there is a top layer is totally occupied by the ice. Okay, then the insulation will never go inside the water. Okay, because there is a totally ice is formed with a thick layer. Okay, with a thick layer, so the sunlight will never go inside the water. Now here the fish will not get any sort of food. Okay, whatever the food, so it won't get the oxygen as well. Okay, so it will create the algal bloom inside the here top of the, just below the ice, the algal bloom will created. Okay, and simultaneously it will goes to hamper the life of the marine. Okay, in this way it is hampered, right friends? So I hope you understood what is mean by winter kills here. Next we see seventh question, that is, oxygen enters the aquatic ecosystem through the air water interface. Second, the photosynthetic activities. Choose the wrong statement. So okay, here I have made some different options for you. That is, choose the wrong statement, because UPSC may ask such kind of questions to trap the students. Okay, so the correct answer would be here. So let me tell you the options. That is, option A, only B, and both A and B, neither A nor B. So correct answer is neither A nor B. That is, fourth option is right, because these two statements are the correct. And here it is asking the choose a wrong statement. So none of them are the wrong statements. So both are the correct. So our answer should be the neither one nor two, right? That is, oxygen will enter the aquatic ecosystem through the water interface, air water interface. The second one is the photosynthetic activities, right? So here photosynthetic activities, that is, algal bloom will change the solar energy into the chemical energy, and it will ultimately changes into the energy for the marine animals. Okay. Next, the air water interface. So air water interface will help to grow the marine animals as well, right? So next we see, so eighth question is, dissolved oxygen escapes the water body through which of the following? So dissolved oxygen, whatever the water which is dissolved in the, whatever the oxygen which is dissolved in the water, how it will get escaped from the water body? This is the meaning of the question. Okay, so first let us see the options. Option A, water air interface. Second one is respiration of organisms. So choose the correct code. That is, only A, only B, and both A and B, neither A nor B. So here our options should be here our option should be A, water interface, air water interface. Second one is respiration of the organisms. So both option is correct. Okay, how both options are correct, but on what basis these both are the correct? So let me tell you the explanation for this as well. That is, air water interface, it will shelter on the water. Okay, it will take the shelter on the water particularly. Okay friends, the second one is, I mean not particularly, I mean we can say it is one of the means of the oxygen for the air water interface insects. Okay, just like strides. Okay, the second option is a respiration of the organisms. Whatever the animals, marine animals which are there in the water bodies, they will respire. Okay, by this reason the oxygen will get escaped from this water bodies. Okay, so for this reason both answer A and B will be the right answer. Next question we will see, which of the following is correct statement? Oxygen is less soluble in warm water, oxygen is more soluble in warm water, oxygen is less soluble in cold water, and none of the above. Okay friends, so which of the following is the right answer below the options? So our option is A will be the right answer here. That is, oxygen is less soluble in warm water. Okay. Yeah, oxygen is less soluble in warm water. So there is nothing tricky in this question, so you can take the self explanation for this, right? Next we will move for the 10th question. Do not choose the wrong answer. See, first of all, read about this very carefully. Do not choose the wrong answer. Okay, that means you have to choose the right answer. Okay. It is just for make you very much strong mentally. That is, UPSC should not trap you while you are sitting in the examinations. Okay friends, so such kind of options will be very much familiar in these days. Okay, so you have to be prepared for such kind of questions, because in UPSC examinations you will get very much less time to even think about it. Okay, so you should get net practice before going to examinations. So we'll come back to our discussion. Option number A is, when the dissolved oxygen levels is above 35 ppm, many aquatic organisms are likely to die. Okay, just a second. Next, second one is, when the dissolved oxygen levels falls below 5 to 35 ppm, many aquatic organisms are likely to die. Third option is, when the dissolved oxygen levels fall below the 35 ppm, many aquatic organisms are likely to die. Fourth one, when the dissolved oxygen levels fall below 3 to 5 ppm, many aquatic animals are likely to die. So little bit tricky question, isn't it? No, never. This is not the tricky question, because as we discussed earlier that you have to be prepared. Okay, I have notified you already. You have to prepare the aquatic ecosystem chapter, that is chapter number 4 of the Shankara IAS. So if you are not able to solve these questions, that is, your preparation is not on the right line. Okay, so if any of the following questions you are making wrong, please go to the topics and reread it. Okay, reread it, revise it, remember it, by heart it. Okay, but do not miss the content, because now you have got very much time to utilize the corona effect. Okay, so this is the main advantage to you. So be prepared well for the UPSC preliminary examinations as well as mains and interview. Okay friends, so let us move further. So here our right option will be the D, that is, when the dissolved oxygen levels falls below the 3 to 5 ppm, that is parts per million, many aquatic organisms are likely to die. Yes, it is correct, because beyond the 3 to 5 ppm means the dissolved oxygen levels will be get reduced as much as the animals are required. Okay. Sorry, whatever the marine animals required, the oxygen will not be sufficient in that regions. Okay, if it is fall below the 3 to 5 ppm. Okay, next we see further 11th question, that is, which of the following given statements are correct? So which of the following given statements are correct? So there are 4 options. You have to choose the right option from this. So option number A, lakes are born as they originate by various geological events. Okay, lakes are born as they originate by various geological events. Option number B, lakes are born as they originate by both geological and geomorphic events. Okay friends, next third one is lakes are born as they originate by various geomorphic events. Okay, just think about it. Next, fourth option is lakes are born as they originate by neither geological nor geomorphic event. So what is the force behind the origin of the lake? So here the question is asking about the origin of the lake, how they are originated. Okay, so here we have to choose the correct answer. So let me tell you the right answer and pause the video. Please make an attempt of this and we move further, right? So here our option B will be the right answer, that is lakes are born as they originate by both geological and geomorphic events. Okay friends, there are number of geological and geomorphic events, so this is a reason behind it, that is exogenic and endogenic forces. Okay, so by this we can say option number B is our right answer. Okay, next we move further for 12th question. What is the 12th question? That is lake receives their water from the surface runoff and sometimes also from the groundwater discharge. Okay, so lakes will receive water from surface runoff as well as groundwater also. Okay, next second statement is lakes receives water from groundwater discharge only. Next third statement is lakes receives their water from surface runoff water only. Next fourth statement is none of the given statement is correct. So you have to choose the right answer below the from the options, given options. Okay, so let me tell you the answer. The option is A is the right answer, that is lakes receives their water from the surface runoff and sometimes also from the groundwater discharge, because here lakes is runoff and underground water body is connected throughout the earth. Okay, this is not the discontinued body. Underground water body is a connected water body, so we can't avoid the groundwater here. Okay, and obviously if we see the surface runoff water, whenever the rain will whenever the precipitation comes, where the water will go, so it will go at the end of the point and it will reach to the nearby the lakes. Okay, lakes, ponds, etc. Okay friends, so this is the, so by this reason the option A is the right answer. In this way you have to eliminate the wrong options in your examinations, prelims examinations. Okay friends, so now let us move for the 13th question, that is eutrophia means. What does the term eutrophia mean to you? Okay, not to you, but you have to tell from the below the options. I have to choose the correct one, right? So option number A is presence of adequate and healthy nutrition. Option number B is presence of poor nutrition. Option number C is presence of moderate nutrition, and option number D is presence of irrelevant nutrition. So let me give the explanation for all the options here, whatever the present. So first of all, irrelevant nutrition. So irrelevant nutrition means whatever the animal is there. Okay, so for example, if you take about the human being, whenever he is going to gym or any kind of physical activities, he needs some particular nutrition there. Okay, like sweet potatoes to enhance the energy, for instance. Okay, and many more. So in the similar way, if he eats like chocolates, okay, if he eats like chocolates, or if he if he take the cigarettes, is it healthy? No, so it is irrelevant and it is not the nutrition as well. Okay, so in this way it is saying about the irrelevant nutrition. So option number D will be the wrong. Okay friends, so next we'll see. And you may ask here, so irrelevant nutrition means whatever the animal is present here, it is not getting the relevant nutrition. So according to this options should be correct. Okay, so but we should wait for the other options also. We should read the other options as well, right? So we'll go for third option, that is presence of moderate nutrition. So okay, moderate means the animal will get the moderate nutrition, that is moderate energy, so it is not satisfied entirely. Okay, so it is also not right answer. So D option you have to keep on hold, and D is ultimately wrong. The second option is presence of poor nutrition. Whenever the poor nutrition is present, so it will ultimately neglected, okay, neglected for the growth of the aquatic or marine ecosystems. Okay, so next we see about the option number A, that is presence of adequate and healthy nutrition. So healthy nutrition is very good for everyone, so it is a right answer. So D will be the wrong in this way because unrelevant. Okay, and here it is giving the adequate and healthy nutrition. Okay, by these explanations you can easily skip the option B, C and D. We can go for the option number A, that will be the right answer. Next we see about the question number 14, that is match the following. Okay friends, match the following. Option number A, lithotrophic. So here you have to match the followings. Okay, option number A is lithotrophic and its match is very low nutrient. Option number B, mesotrophic and its match is moderate nutrients. And option number C, eutrophic, it is high nutrient rich. Okay, just now we discussed about the eutropia, that is high and healthy nutrients. So here the option number C is correctly matched, so we can directly go for it. Okay, but in examinations you have to well prepare for this. Okay, so wherever the B is C, then you have to make it correct. So none of the above, it is wrong. First of all you can eliminate this. So in the C option, C is given as 2, so it is also wrong. In B it is C is given as 1, so it is also wrong. So rest our answer is A. The option left is A, so A will be the right answer. In this way you have to eliminate the wrong options in your UPSC prelims. Okay, this is a method of elimination, so which I am teaching you simultaneously. Okay friends, so next we move further for our 15th question. Choose the correct statement about the National Wetland Conservation Program. So wetland, which is most important sorry, it has some sort of guidelines, rules and regulations to identify national wetlands and Ramsar wetlands. So here you have to do your work is go through the Ramsar wetland. Okay, Ramsar wetland, when it has been started and what are the important sites and rate, so you can go for it. Okay, so next let me come back to the question, that is choose about the correct statement about the NWCP, that is National Wetland Conservation Program, which was implemented in the year 1985 to 86. Second option is under the program 115 identified wetlands, 115 wetlands has been identified. And option number C is its objective of conservation and management of the wetland in the country. So whatever the options is right, you have to choose from the given codes. Pause the video and please make the right option. Okay, so here options are option number A, B, C, option number C, B and C, option number C, A, and fourth is only A and C. Whatever the correct answer, you please mark it and keep it side, then resume the video and see the answer, right? So now let me tell you the answer, that is option number A, B, C, both are three of the statements are correct, so option number A will be the right answer here. Okay, so NWAC, National Wetland Conservation Authority is program is implemented in the year 1985 and 86, and immediately as soon as it has been implemented, then 115 identified wetland it has been identified. Okay, next what are the objectives? Its objectives are to conserve and management of the wetland in the country, and it will give the suggestions to the even the state also, and it will formulate the policies to conserve the wetlands. Okay friends, so but the wetlands is a state subject, so even the state has the authority to do that. So what is the main motive here, that is National Wetland Conservation Program should coordinate with center as well as state to form the policies for the wetland of the nations. Okay, so this is about the wetlands. Next we move further. yeah, this is the end of this lecture. So I hope you enjoyed the video. So till now we have discussed about the ecology, that is Shankar IAS environment, that is first chapter, that is ecology. Second chapter is functions of the ecosystem. Third chapter is terrestrial ecosystem, and fourth chapter is aquatic ecosystem, which we have done in this lecture itself. So I hope you done the revision as well of these lectures. Okay friends, so please be focused on preliminary as well, not only for mains, because many of the students now they are thinking due to corona the exams has been deferred, so now we can shift to the mains. Yes, it is not the bad idea, but as well simultaneously you have to focus on prelims as well, because the UPSC has said they'll give only 30 days prior notifications. Okay, so in 30 days you can't do that much very well, because if you have forgot the things which is most important for prelims, then it will be hectic for your prelims exam as well. So be prepared, should not neglect for this prelims examinations. Okay, so that is it for this lecture. Please do subscribe for Acquire IAS. Thank you very much. Have a great day.